Olympic podium being used to protest American shot putter Raven Saunders being investigated after crossing her arms above her head during the medal ceremony this weekend. She says it's to represent oppressed people and is telling the International Olympic Committee to try and take it, her medal. This comes as Olympic hammer thrower Gwen Berry, who turned her back on the American flag during the national anthem at the Olympic trials, says she'll do it again if she reaches the podium, saying, quote, "I feel like I've earned the right to wear this uniform. I'll represent the oppressed people. That's been my message for the last 3 years. All those people who hate me, they aren't here.
Yeah.
So they can't affect me." All right, Katie, what do you think? Come and take it.
Well, we'll see if the investigation plays out. There are different rules between the Olympic Committee and the International Committee on what you're allowed to do when you're protesting. But I don't want to focus on the people who are not proud of the country they're representing. I think we should focus on those who are making our country proud, like the men's relay team over the weekend when they won gold in swimming. That was amazing. Loved watching that. And also to emphasize the point that our USA athletes can get up there and they can protest and come back to a country where they have freedom and the freedom of speech to speak out against things that they think are unjust. In the meantime, there's a Belarus runner. Her name is Christiana. Her last name starts with a T. I will not try to say it.
Just try it, Katie. Just try it.
Tismanovskaya.
Perfect.
And she spoke out against Belarus officials and criticized them, and her life is now in danger, and she's trying not to go back to Belarus because she thinks that she will be either tortured or killed. Belarus.
Wow. I'm such a jerk.
Screw me up with the first one, Belarus. Anyway, the point is that if you're an American athlete, you can protest and come back to a country and live freely, whereas if you're from a number of other countries, the majority of them around the world, you have no rights to do so either at the Olympics or when you go home. Or to Belarus.
Tomato, right, Richard?
Belarus.
I actually agree with. I'm agreeing with y'all today. I agree with Katie on that point.
It makes it so easy, doesn't it?
Belarus and Belarus.
It makes my life easy. Belarus. But, you know, I think that is what makes America great, is that you can go to the Olympics, you can win a gold medal or a silver medal or a bronze medal for America, and then you can express your grievance with the country. That's what makes America a good place. And this is nothing new, right? We saw this happen in the 1968 games when Tommy Smith and John Carlos protested the United States in Mexico City. We've seen it happen when Muhammad Ali did the same thing. And listen, politics and athletics have always sort of been connected, even when Richard Nixon sent the table tennis team to China. So this is nothing new, and I'm happy to see that these players are expressing themselves.
I honestly don't mind this as much as the knee. The knee really drove me nuts, but this, not the best, but not the worst.
Oh, I think there were some amazing things, including that guy, Isaiah Jewett, who was tripped by the guy who's on our team, USA, tripped by the guy behind him from Botswana, ruins his race. He was on track to win, and instead of getting mad, gets up, shakes his hand, and they run and together.
That's not my reaction.
Nope, that would not be your reaction.
No, but Botswana tries that on me.
But Isaiah Jewett.
That's a lack of sportsmanship.
But here's the thing: first of all, if Gwen Berry wants to protest, first you got to win. Okay, so then and then let's talk.
Yeah,
okay?
right.
Like if you win the medal, she might win the medal. Okay, fine. But if she doesn't, like, she's like, when you are, this is the thing about it. If you're going to do this, you can't just like say, preview it.
Right.
It loses all of its impact.
Right.
So now we're all like waiting, like, first of all, we don't know if you're going to win a medal. Second, like if you do it, it's like, oh gosh, here she goes. Like we already get it. But also know this, if you decide to do this, and that's your right, if you think that's your right, you have to understand that everyone has a right to an opinion about that action as well. So
that's right.
Then don't get mad if you get a reaction.
And you have a lot of strong opinions, Greg.
Yes, in fact, well, first of all, I still go back to my original solution. We need to have an activist Olympics, combining activism with physical fitness, because let's be honest about, I always worry about the average activist. They're often terribly out of shape, overweight, they look very unhappy, miserable. If we can just get them into some kind of routine of physical fitness, perhaps with something like, it's not like, I would call it the activist Olympics, and just let them, I think it would be beautiful. Now, your point is, you know, we have the athletes making political points. This is a political show. I should be able to make comments about athletes. I don't think a lot of these people are very good athletes.
No.
Was that before or after they won the gold or silver medal?
Oh, I just don't consider a lot of these things actual sports.
Like hammer throwing.
I mean, like a repetitive.
athletic?
So that's my opinion on some of these Olympic sports. Also, people like to watch the Olympics because they like to root for somebody. Your team, Team America. It's not just a personal athletic endeavor. Right. You're representing your country. So this isn't like the NBA or the NFL where you can live in LA and be a fan of the Knicks, whatever. So it gets tiresome for a lot of people when you want to support them, but they come off as unthankful brats.
Yeah. Yep.
And see, now this is my opinion on the athletes. A lot of them are ungrateful brats. Are Americans rooting against the American female soccer team? I know a few who are.
I know a few too.
I mean, and it's because they come off as super smarmy. And the fact is, the Olympics are created for a point of national pride. Being number one, you every day you want to know how many medals America.
Ask what the medal count is, and we're up 2 on China.
But the point is, I should say, being woke, that being number one, Jesse, doesn't matter if you come from a racist country. That's the message. The idea of winning doesn't matter. The number of medals doesn't matter. That these athletes are unique specimens. That no longer matters either, right? Because they punctured every one of these aspirational values with their behavior, so that it doesn't really matter to me. So I get to look at them and I go, "You're not really that good. You're boring. I don't care about that. I used to care. I used to actually put forth this compassion because you were part of America's team, but now I don't give a damn."
And what's the difference between Mexico and the United States? There's no borders there.
Oh, good point.
Really? Doesn't even exist. Doesn't even exist anymore. Yes.